Fanny and Christobel were sitting in the drawing-room, the late afternoon sunshine flooding across the knotted floorboards and Persian rugs. Fanny began singing to herself. Born in the USA, born in the USA, born in the USA, born in the USA.
For Christ's sake, Fanny, shut your cake-hole.
Mummy, I have to practice my singing for my Netflix series, so you think you can sing, you mother bleeper?
Well, I think we all know the answer to that question. Take it mother bleeping elsewhere.
But Peregrine said...
Don't tell me you're still seeing that ill-suited suitor.
But of course. We are in love. One may as well tell you now, because the press are sure to get hold of it any minute. We are moving to California.
What? But one has booked in one for a one-to-one with his Madge next week to discuss your suitability to become Queen of England.
But one doesn't want to be Queen of England. Peregrine and I are getting married and moving to California. At that moment, Catherine Kendlington-Jones, a Welsh member of the paparazzi, suddenly burst forth from the suit of armour situated left of the fireplace that dominated the drawing-room. Several of the Rubens and Vermeer portraits that lined the walls seemed to raise their eyebrows in consternation at her appearance.
Jesus Christ! Did you know someone's done a dump in that thing?
Who are you?
Catherine Kendlington-Jones, BNC News anchor, member of the International Press Corps with strictly non-F status on my press card.
Non-F?
Non-fit lad. Can't be too careful these days with all these, scandals.
What the bally hell were you doing in my father's suit of armour?
Waiting for a scoop. I hope you don't mind.
A pooper scoop? They don't sell those anymore.
What class of person are you? One can't possibly speak to anyone who isn't at least multi-millionaire. One is a member of So-So House. What would people think if one spoke to some scummy scum from below stars?
Yeah, well, I'm actually massively rich. You don't have to worry about that. In fact, I have so much money I could pay someone £35,000 a year to fulfill my sick fetishes. But you can forget that I said that because it categorically isn't true anyway, and I told the head of BNC just as much when I spoke to him about it. So,
how did you get in here?
Quite easily, really. The door was open.
I refuse to speak to the press on any subject. Unless you pay me an exorbitant amount of money and let me appear on Oprah in a secret location that looks like my house but is actually my neighbour's house, so that the press can endlessly speculate about it and use it as clickbait for hundreds of articles which will ultimately add to the mystery of my fabulous existence.
So not even like a little question?
Nope.
Like,
are you going to be moving to California?
Nope. So, when you say nope, that means yes, right?
Nope. I mean yes. I mean nope. Oh, you tricked one.
So that's a yes, because I just heard you tell your mother that you are moving to California because I was hiding in that suit of armour illegally in the hope that you would let slip some private information when you were in the comfort of your own home, and it seemed my gamble paid off, which is lucky really, because spending 32 hours in the presence of a steaming great big shite isn't as nice as you would imagine. Ta-ta!
Later that evening, long after Catherine Kendlington-Jones had departed, Christobel and Fanny, in a cloud of press intrusion, found themselves summoned to the study by the underfloor maid, Martha.
Why have I been summoned to my late husband's study, Martha? I was sure he was dead.
Well, cool blimey, Gov, I was counting me apples and pears and thinking, what's this geezer doing knocking on the bell this time of the evening? And then I thought to myself, well, the lady of the house ain't gonna be too pleased with me if I don't show him in.
Suppose I led him into the master's study, marm.
But who, Martha, is this gentleman of what you speak?
Why, he's quite a gent, me lady. He's even smoking one of them Cuban cigars.
Cuban, say you?
Yeah.
How's your father?
At this, the maid did a large wink to the camera that was positioned discreetly in the flower pot.
You don't mean my half-brother, the one who shall not be named, who was born through a tempestuous affair with a well-known actrice, when Daddy had it off between the sheets, as it were?
Was yes, me lady.
But this cannot be. He was only given the King's permission to form a new government the noon before last. How can he suddenly appear at the family seat? Why, it's almost a replay of that rather ill-informed trip to Hever Castle. Oh, the scandal! Who let you be privy to my aside?
Well, it ain't really an aside now, Ma, is it?
Oh, get you hither, you gutter snipe! Announce my arrival this instant!
Her Most Honourable Christobel of Bilgerton Hall to meet you, Prime Minister!
And with that, the chair at the vast desk swivelled slowly to reveal none other than the Right Honourable Richie Wappington Stanley, the newly minted Prime Minister of Great Britain. A man who smiled a broad, disingenuous smile and had the unruly hair of an overgrown boar, who most certainly had had one too many Irish coffees in Annie's Bar, for those not in the know, a famous parliamentary watering hole.
Chrissy! Oh, how are you? I've a favour to ask of you.
Shush! Don't say a word!
Christobel grabbed and covered Rich's mouth roughly, making his eyes pop out with alarm. She was sure that there were press agents everywhere, since the sudden appearance of Catherine Kendlington-Jones t'other morning, and she wasn't taking any chances. She signalled to the maid to proceed to karate-chop the suits of armour that lined the walls.
My old means a dustman.
Thankfully, it was all clear.
Apologies, dear brother from t'other mother. Just can't be too sure with all this press intrusion these days.
Sure thing. Sister from the same mister. I had a few of them, following me. Yeah, managed to, shake 'em off. Like that, American singer whatnot. As I took the working, turn off. Yeah. Damn scoundrels won't leave one alone. Where has all the bally decency gone? One can't even bonk one's political opponent's wife these days without it being plastered all over the Darley Mile.
Quite. Now, what's your business? Shouldn't you be boozing it up in the House of Commons many bars?
Yeah, well, spot a bother with the, commissioner. So one thought, come home and visit me dear old sissykins.
Have you been accused of another lockdown party?
No. Work meeting, sis. That, may have involved a little bit of, frappin' 750th anniversary edition cognac, but, it was, only half a bottle, and that's barely £15,000 worth, so what's the bally bother? That's what I say to ya. I mean, the Archbishop of whatever, can't remember his name, what's it, has that for breakfast.
Christobel looked at her brother with a withering stare. She was obviously used to his behaviour, after years of having to endure his mother as her nanny, on the pretext that Richie was nothing at all to do with his father. They had been nursed in the same nursery. She had endured months of having to listen to his endless witticisms, or at least his attempt at them, and now, yet again, she found herself falling back into her old childhood role of being the second fiddle to a rather oafish brother of little or no intellect.
No, they've accused me of having it off with, the Minister of Trade. Sorry, gotta correct myself there. Minister for Upper Class Remuneration off the back of the lower classes, his wife. And, to be honest, I may have, you know. But, the only problem is, the frapping had rather gone to me head, and one found myself, back at the flat with me trousers round me ankles and not a bally clue what all the rumpus was about.
Oh, for Christ's sake, Richie! Don't you know that Fanny's got a meeting with his Madge next week? She could become the new Queen of England. That other lady's far too boring to be taken seriously, despite years of causing a right old tabloid trust fund with her endless tampon antics. And we can't have some silly sod nonsense scandal hanging over us.
Really? I thought Fanny was having it off with the Earl of Benningdown, Peregrine, Arthur, Henry, Cindy, Lulu, Twit-Twoo.
No! She must marry within her class. I will not have her marrying an earl with barely £1 billion to his name. Our father would be rolling in his grave. God bless him.
Well, come on, Sissy Wissy. I can't possibly go back to Parliament. And I only, have, 10 other addresses, and I can't, go to any of them for fiddlestick's sakes. The Daily Mail have people staked out at each of them. I mean, bally hell, I, bonked one of these, whatchamacallums t'other day, and, it wasn't until she claimed child support I knew, her, true identity, so to speak. They get, sneakier and sneakier, these bally press types.
Don't you have a wife with a young child?
Yeah, but she's, the worst of the lot. Ha! Can't just let it go when these, nutters come forward. I mean, it's the king's prerogative to have a mistress or two.
But you aren't the bally king!
Yeah, but, the king's not really the king anymore. I mean, the Prime Minister's basically the, bally king, isn't he?
Regardless, you can't stay here. You'll just have to go back to number 10, throw a press conference, deny all, blame it on the Russians, and make them start a war or something to cover it up. Got it?
With that, Richie rose from his seat and sighed deeply. He could really do without this. It was with a wretchedly heavy heart that he left Bilderton Hall for the big smoke. His sister's suggestion wasn't half bad, though.
Hello, so, you may have heard the, rumours of me being a rather, naughty chap. But, one denies it all. It was those bothersome Russian types. Yeah, you know, they're all to blame. So, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Good night. One's off to bonk the first woman one sees. I mean, one's off to drink myself silly. Ha! Oh, no. One had very important parliamentary business to attend to. Ballyhoo and all that. down the hatch and don't forget to tonk your todger.
Prime Minister! Prime Minister! Question from Catherine Kenlington-Jones, PNC News anchor. Where's that child support money you owe me, eh? You know the child is yours. You cannot deny the shock of ridiculous hair upon his head. You cannot deny your genes. Only you alone can be the father.
With that, a police constable stepped forward.
Sorry, no further questions at this time. I ask members of the press to disperse back to almost certain obscurity, unless they happen to get the latest scoop on Fanny and Peregrine's latest caper, in which case your quid's in and good luck to you. Thank you and good night.
Another son of the House of Bilgerton Hall was saved. The genes of the upper classes are instilled with a way of keeping the long arm of the law away from their capers and the strong arm of fortune on their side, as the old family motto was proud to proclaim, a falsis principis proficici, whatever the F that means.